Next topic is groups of vertebrates. The topic is groups of vertebrates. Right? Here what are the 5 groups? What are they? Pisces, amphibians. Bio means living. Amphibian, an animal which is living on land and water. Tell me what is that? Just example. Frog. Okay. Reptiles. Reptiles means snake family. Snakes. What is our question? Sir, some snakes are also moving in water. They are always should not be in the water. They should be in the land itself. Depends upon the situation, they have to drive into the waters. Okay. Right. Here amphibians means frog and hedgehog. Frog and hedgehog and examples. Next, aves. Aves means birds. Okay. Aves means birds. Fifth one is mammalians. Mammals. Mammals means an animal which is having mammary gland. Mammary gland means, mammals means a mother who is going to give their breast milk to the young ones is called mammalians, mammalia. Cat is going to give milk to their kittens. Dog is going to give milk to their puppets. Even human beings are going to, mother is going to milk to their younger ones. The lion, tiger, cheetah, these are all. Even pigeon also comes under mammalia because it's going to give a sticky white milky like fluid to their beak into their younger ones. Okay. So these are all 5 groups of vertebrates. Right? Now let us go. Pisces means fishes. Let us go and study about one after the other. Sorry. Now fishes are what kind of animals? They are aquatic animals because they are supposed to be live in the water itself. So water is always normally it's cool. So fishes are cold-blooded animals. Okay? Depends upon their temperature, body temperature. Depends upon their body temperature. They change their body temperature according to the water system. Sorry. Okay? They changes their body temperature according to their surrounding waters. Okay? So they are flexible to change their body temperature, but we are not. We are fixed and stationary. Our body temperature is 98.4 Fahrenheit. Okay, of course, by the action of a bacteria or a virus, it may changes from 98.4 to 99 or 100 or 104. Right. So these are all cold-blooded animals. Depends upon their changes in their body and the surroundings. Their body temperature also changes. Okay. Most of these fishes are oviparous. Most of these fishes are oviparous. Oviparous means, what is meant by oviparous? Egg laying means fishes are, most of the fishes are egg laying. That means they are going to lay the eggs in colonies, not only 1 or 2, hundreds and thousands. Only in the case of shark and whale, give birth to their young ones. Right? So, only sharks and these are all give their young ones directly. Those are all comes under mammalian family. Right? Now this is a tabular formula of your vertebrates. Right? These are all vertebrates. See here, notochord replaced by vertebral column in adults. So fishes means spices, amphibians belonging to frog family, reptiles means which is nothing but snakes, crocodile, birds have two wings, laying eggs, warm-blooded, four-chambered heart. This is the way. And mammalia, land mammals mammalia and marine and flying mammalia. See here, that means depends upon their habitat and habitual. These are all divided into many vertebrate animals. Right? Now, coming to these fishes. These fishes generally have fins to move. Tail is useful for movement and direction of the animals. We know that. We have to observe the aquarium also. We can better understand. By movement of the tail, the body of the fish is also move here and there, right or left or straight. Okay. So they are going to be move and breathe with their gills. Moppalu we call them as. They are all well known. Okay. Next, the heart of these fishes have two-chambered heart. Two chambers. Fishes have two-chambered heart. Two-chambered. Right? Heart is two-chambered. Now coming to the amphibian. These amphibians are living as well as waters and the soil. Their heart is a three-chambered, two auricles, single ventricle. Okay, two auricles, single ventricle. Okay, these are all poikilothermic. These are all cold-blooded. Poikilothermic means poikilothermic. Thermo means heat. That means their body temperature is somewhat around constant. They should not leave the temperature and they should not get the temperature from outside to in. So that's why in summer almost of all the frogs are in a deeper layer of earth or in the waters. Only in the case of rainy season they come up because the soil is also filled with some water lagoons. Now we are already once studied, observed day by day, not less than 30 days onwards we are fed up with the deep depressions in the Bay of Bengal. Okay, soon also we are going to get some rains. So whenever this rainy season may come, all these frogs are come on to the land and they are going to go for croaking noise back like that. Right? Right. So during summer, they undergo in deeper layers of water, that is called as a summer sleep. And even in the cold time, that is in the winter season also, they are in the deeper layers of the burrows. That is called as winter sleep. Summer sleep and winter sleep. That means here, in the case of summer, what happens? They may not be come on to the soil because earth is completely met with hot temperatures. So the skin of the frog is always moisture in nature. Temaga untundi. When the skin is loses their moisturizer, the skin of frog is going to dry. When the skin of frog is going to be dry, it may die. Am I clear? Always the skin of the frog is moisturizer. So that's why they do not lose their moisturizer. If they lose, the skin should be dry in nature. When the skin is dry, the frog is going to be die. Because of that reason, always in the daytime, they should be in the deeper layers of the soil or burrows of the soil or in the waters. Any waters, brackish water or tank water or any pond water maybe. Right? Only in the night time they will come up and search for their food. Don't forget. That is called summer sleep. In winter, atmosphere completely cool. When the frog come up onto the land with the body temperature, because of atmospheric temperature and atmospheric pressure of cool, the body is getting dry. Even in the winter also, our skin is going to be dry because fog and mist are around the atmosphere. It may not be absorbed into the clouds. there is no formation of clouds in the winter because there is no absorption of water. Okay, so totally the atmosphere consisting of cool breezes. When the wind may blow, we feel shiver. We are feeling shiver means this is a very small animal, can't we? Yes. So the skin is to be becoming dry because they do not lose their temperature, they are underneath the soils. Am I clear, children? So they do not lose their body temperature because of that reason also in winter they are underneath the deeper layers of the soil or burrows of the soil or in the waters. So that is called as a winter sleep. So it undergo winter sleep and it also undergo summer sleep. Right? Next, reptilians. Reptiles have dry skin. Their skin is scaly. Have you gone to a snake park and snakes? Their skin is scaly. Okay. Next, almost of all these reptiles are laying eggs and hatching their younger ones. Okay. So, these are all cold-blooded. These snakes are cold-blooded because they are in the deeper layers of the soil burrows. Okay. Next, almost of all these snakes are also have 3-chambered. Of course, they are 4-chambered, but 2 auricles are completely separated. But one ventricle is incompletely divided ventricle. That's why the heart is 3-chambered. There is a upper chamber is auricles, lower chambers are ventricles. But in the case of a frog, snake, 2 chambers are auricles are completely open but divided. But the ventricles are incompletely. That means half of the ventricles are open and half of the ventricles are undivided. So that's why we saw that 3-chambered heart. Okay. But in the case of reptilian, crocodiles are also came into existence, but crocodiles are 4-chambered. Of course, they are laying eggs, but is a not. Of course, it comes under mammalia, but it should not be fed with the mammalian glands. It's a very big animal, right? Next, birds. Birds means comes under aves family. These birds have 4-chambered, 2 auricles, 2 ventricles, and these all have 2 wings. Wings consisting of feather to fly. Okay. Next, these are all warm-blooded because they are on their shelter is on their trees and the deeper layers of tree trunks and in the window panes, that is ventilators in our houses. Okay. So most of these birds have 4-chambered. Next, coming to the land mammalians. What are they? Marsupials. What is marsupial? Nothing but a kangaroo. Kangaroo we say. Okay. Why these are a marsupial means they have a pouch in the abdominal region. There is a special pouch, a bag-like structure. Means whenever they give young ones, they are keeping their young ones in their pouch. Okay. And almost of all these find in Australia and New Zealand and Tasmania, because their grasslands are very higher, not less than 10 feet to 12 feet or 15 feet of grasslands, and more availability of hardening these marsupials, and their temperature is better to survive in that area. Okay. Next, primates. Prime means the first most animal is monkey, called as a primate. They are also 4-legged animals. Of course, 2 arms are just like of our human hands. If you give any banana, they are going to open with their 2 hands and going to eat. So these are all comes under primates. So whoever comes under primates means man is also comes under primate, because Homo pithecus, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalensis and modern man. So these are all 4 arms. That means 2 arms are hind arms, 2 arms are forearms. Forearms means hands, hind arms means legs. Next, rodents. Rodent means rats and rabbits comes under rodents. These are also 4 chambered. See this picture, rodent. Okay, rat and a rabbit. Okay, so rodents are gnawing animals, means with their teeth they are going to scratch the bark. We are already studied in your earlier classes. Okay, so the large toothed animal on the top and bottom are gnawed. G-N-A-W-I-N-G, gnawing means they are going to scratch the barks, scratching the roots, scratching the leaves, gnawing. Okay, and they are chiseling means they are crushing like a scissor. Okay, so they are going to scratch with their sharp-ended tooth, and they are going to cut the hard foods also. Even in the cardboard also they are going to scratch. Next, marine mammalians. Marine mammalia. I said marine mammalia means what I said. These are all directly giving their young ones. They do not go and laying any egg. These are also cold-blooded animals because they are in the midst of the sea, that is 2000 meters of depth in the oceanariums. Okay, their body is covered by some sort of hairs on the body, have a large fins, and also have very big lungs. We call them as a blubber. This is to be studied in your next classification, adaptations of Animalia. Next, flying mammal. Flying mammal means bats. Bats are called as flying mammalia. These are all rats, bats. Next, owls. We call them as nocturnal animal. Nocturnal means a bird or an animal which is going to move at night and search for their food at night. Daytime they are going to completely sleep. And whenever the night comes, because their eyes are unable to see at night. Okay, so they are very clearly sensitized with their ears, inner ears. Of course, we have external ears, but snake, some of the birds have internal ears. They have ears, but they are covered by skin. So they are not supposed to be visualized, but according to the sound, according to the vibrations, they move at night very fastly and very speedily. Okay, so these flying mammals, example is bat. They are swing by tilting manner. That means head is on the bottom and body is on the top. Okay, so live on the plants and the branches. Okay, this is the way how these flying mammals. This is also give milk to their young ones. Okay, even pigeon is also comes under mammalia because of course it's an egg-laying mammal. It's going to laying eggs and feed with their sticky fluid like a white milky fluid that is called as milk. That means a few days it is going to fade up. Okay, this is the way how these animals, which are different types of animals, okay, different types of plants we studied, classification of animals, classification of plants we studied. So this is the way how diversification should be happened. Okay, there ends your 5th chapter. I would like to assign you some question and answers on this, and also soon we have to get some sort of a small tests are also we have to be conducted, right children? So follow this If anyone have any doubts, please inform me. Thank you.